In this video, I'll be talking about my not so favorites of 2023. So these are actually the TV shows I not hated, but they were out of all the shows I watched, they were the worst ones for me. I didn't like them, my not so favorites, my least favorites, whatever you want to say. I just didn't like these shows and I would never watch them again. So there are only 3 on this list, which is actually kind of surprising. Usually I have more than 3. Like sometimes usually I have at least 5. So I think that's a pretty good sign. But yeah, there's only 3 for this list, which is, in my opinion, that's a good thing. But unfortunately now we got to talk about them. So here we go. Okay, so the first show is Nevertheless. You can go check out my video I did about that one if you want me to go in greater detail. But basically this show is about like a girl and a guy. They like each other. I think they're trying to do like a no strings attached kind of thing, more casual, but she's not really a casual girl, but she tries it and she's not feeling it. I just didn't like the relationship between the 2 characters. I didn't feel like a whole lot of chemistry, not enough for me to root for them to be endgame. There's another guy on the show, like, a little bit of a love triangle on the show, and I wanted her to choose the other guy. I was like, this dude is like stable, he knows what he wants you, choose him. And she didn't. I just didn't love it. I think like the first couple episodes I did, and after that I was like, I'm not liking this show, I don't want to finish. And I actually stopped watching it in the middle of the season because I didn't want to see how it ended. And eventually I was like, okay, come on, like just finish it, maybe it'll turn out pretty good, maybe they'll convince you. They didn't convince me. It turned out exactly how I thought it would happen, and I didn't like it. So yeah, that's Nevertheless. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. My next show is Muted. Like, I feel like it had so much potential, and it started so well, but once it got to like the final episodes, like probably the last 2, I was like, I am so over this. I think it was like the final episode and like the final scenes that really did it for me. I was like, no, I'm done with this show. So basically Muted is about there's this guy, he was accused of murdering his parents. After the night of his parents' murder, he hasn't spoken since. And people are trying to figure out why he stopped speaking. They're trying to find out the truth and things like that. Like, he just doesn't really talk to anyone. It seemed really interesting. It hooked me in. And I think it was a little deceiving with the title and description of the show, because it said he wouldn't talk. And then I feel like very shortly after he would talk, at least he would talk to some people. And I was like, so he does talk, but he just decides not to talk to everyone, especially the police. I'm like, maybe when he was in jail, he wasn't talking, but then when he got out, it seemed like pretty easy for him to talk to people. Like, I thought it would last longer. I don't know if y'all are readers, but if you read The Silent Patient, I thought his silence would be more like that. In The Silent Patient, this woman does not talk. She is silent. So I thought in Muted, it would be more like that. Like, we're trying to figure out why this dude is not talking. But throughout the show, I think it was just, to me, it was more about trying to figure out who actually murdered his parents. Was it really him? More than it was about why is he not talking. And if you're going to name your show Muted, the dude better be muted most of this series. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I didn't love that. The last episode I didn't like the main cop detective. She was just giving weird predatorial vibes. Didn't like it. I was like, okay. His little, like, because I don't think they were officially together, like, not girlfriend, but like the girl he was like with for a little bit, didn't love her. I liked her near the beginning, but then near the end, I was like, just the way her storyline went, I was like, why is she even here? I was like, no, we could have done without her probably. I was over her man. Like, the way she just ran to him at the end, I was like, no. So I'm giving it all away, but I just did not like this show. I thought, like, with the description and the title and like everything, you could have done so much better. Like, if you want to see how this show could have been done, read the book The Silent Patient. It should have gone how better they could have written this TV show, but they just didn't. And I'm going to stop it there. Would not recommend. Okay, and the final one of my least favorites of the year was Ugly Betty. Okay. Listen. I know a lot of people love the show, but it just wasn't for me, and that is my opinion. Okay, my opinion. And I think one reason is because I never watched Ugly Betty when it first aired. This is my first time watching it. I heard about Ugly Betty. I knew of Ugly Betty, but I never watched it. So I watched it this time. And of course, there were parts that were okay and good, decent. But overall, I just didn't love it. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it. I liked Wilhelmina, though. I'm not going to lie. Wilhelmina, loved her. I think the ending really did it for me. just how they ended it with what was even his name? It was Betty, and was it Grayson? I don't even know. Like, I just don't know or care. Oh, Daniel, that's his name. The ending with her and Daniel, I was like, are you serious? No. Like, either make them best friends forever, or y'all should have led into that relationship before that. I was so upset about that part. I don't know. I think it was okay. I think the comedy style was a little different. I think it was definitely a show of its time. I don't think it 100% aged well for some of the things. Yeah, I just thought it was okay. It was just, out of a lot of things I watched, this was one of my least favorites. I didn't enjoy it all the time watching it. It just wasn't for me. I know other people like it. I can see different, if this comedy is my comedy style, maybe if I watched it when it first aired, the nostalgia would make me love it and rewatch it again. But just now watching it, I just didn't love it. It wasn't for me. But y'all can keep it, y'all can keep this show. If you really love it, y'all can keep it and watch it. It's just not for me. Okay, so those are the TV shows that I did not like watching this year. My least favorites. Let me know what were some of your least favorites of this year. Did any of yours match mine? Or were some of my favorites, or some of the shows I loved, ones that were your least favorites? Let me know. Put them in the comments. Go ahead. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Even though this is just my opinion, but if y'all have different opinions, I understand. Everyone taste is different for everyone. But yeah, that's what I watched this year and I didn't love. Feel free to go check out blog posts for Blogmas, my binge miss videos. You can even check out last year TV shows for ones I didn't love. Feel free to follow me on my socials. I'll link it down below for you. You can like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe. You can also turn on the bell for post notifications. I don't have a set schedule, so if you want to know anytime I post a video, you can turn that on so you're alerted. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good rest of your day, week, month, and hopefully a good rest of your holiday season. And until next time, bye.